Hello, guys. Welcome here to another edition of Tinkle Sports Talk. If you saw our Instagram, you saw we did a little bit of behind the scenes action here. It was pretty fun. We might do a little bit more of that in the future, but I don't know. We need to be more active on Instagram, don't we?
Yeah, well, we need to be more active on social media in general.
Yeah. Right below is how you can find us on social media. That's our tag. So follow us on social media at Tinkle Sports. Excuse me. Anyway, coming up on the show today, we're going to talk the World Series. We've also got the Week 7 NFL recap. We got our Week 8 predictions, and we got Tinkle on this, and we might have a little bit of a moral discussion at the end if we have time. So let's actually get right into it, so we hopefully do have some time to talk about it. So the Atlanta Braves on Friday night, they took a 2-1 series lead entering Saturday in the World Series. And the Braves, by the way, went 7 innings, a combined no-hitter. They did pull the starter, of course, in the World Series. You technically don't really see pitchers go the full 9 innings because they need them for relief in the other games if necessary. Anyway, Jason, they're still the city of chokers, the Atlanta Braves. But what are your thoughts here on the 2-1 lead?
It looks, it looks good for them right now, but Houston has been there, done it. Yes, I know the whole thing with cheating and all the other stuff. But again, they've been there before. Know what has to be done to win a World Series. Atlanta, to my knowledge, it's been a while. So
it's been years, but
But taking a 2-1 lead is a good thing. Doesn't mean it promises you a chance to win the World Series, but it's a good start. But the problem is, like I said, the Astros, like I said, they've been there, done that before. They know what needs to be done to rally the team to go on a nice run to, win it all. So if I'm Atlanta, you really gotta focus on the next few games at hand, because all you got to do is win 2 more games. So you need to focus and be like, hey, what can we do to win these next 2 games to, to knock them out? But just know that it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Houston has home field advantage. Another thing that's a little bit difficult for them. So the last time the Braves won the World Series is 1995. Their last appearance in the World Series came in 1999. That was their last NL pennant. Much has been said about their infield. They have supposedly the best infield in all of baseball right now. And clearly it's extended even into the pitching. And personally, I'm rooting for the Braves anyway because Eddie Rosario is on the Braves. The Twins made a huge mistake letting him go last year. And to see him get a World Series, it would be great. The other thing is the Braves have to find a way to not choke this away because their city, let's face it, their city has a notorious record for choking in big games. And for choking on the big stage. Hence why we haven't seen the Atlanta Falcons in so long in the playoffs, let alone being competitive. So ultimately, though, I guess the big thing is what would be your prediction now? How many games is it going to take and who wins it?
How many more games is it going to take? I mean, it's what?
Like, how many games in general and who wins the series?
Probably 6. And then I want to say probably the Braves in 6.
Yeah. I'm going to agree here, but I'm actually going to say Braves in 7. I think they're going to get a 3-1 lead. Again, the fourth game is tonight, Saturday night. So by now they're either up 3-1 or down or tied 2-2. But if either way, I think it's going to be a 7-game series. I think the Braves come out with it again. That stellar infield that they got decent pitching. I just don't see be honest, the Astros are still a good team, which is why I think it's going to be
a 7-game series.
A 7-game series, because I don't think they're going to go away. And the Astros still have something to prove, by the way. Keep in mind, the Astros, still in that cheating scandal. They want to prove to their fan base that they are still a legitimate team. And they want to prove, that they can win without cheating. So that way people get off their backs. Although that'll never go away in this lifetime, I'm sure.
Right.
But they still want to prove it to themselves. They want to prove it to all the haters out there, and I don't blame them. But yeah, let's go Braves. I can't do the celebration. By the way, there was some controversy there in the crowd. Apparently, the crowd did the tomahawk chop or something. I don't know. I'm not going to show it here because I don't want to offend anybody, but apparently their fans got in a lot of trouble for that. So anyway, let's move on, because we're not going to have that discussion here. Anyway, Week 7 NFL recap. I think Jason started off last time, so maybe I'll start this one off today.
Okay.
So, put some respect on the running backs in the MVP race. That's the first bullet point. Derrick Henry, we know the MVP is notorious for being a quarterback award. But, I mean, Derrick Henry is a human cheat code at running back. Okay, it doesn't matter if you had Nate Peterman at quarterback. I think he could still make Peterman... He could take the pressure off a semi-decent quarterback. Ryan Tannehill by no means is a great quarterback.
Oh, no.
But the fact that he takes so much pressure off of him and allows him to really take a break, it's good, honestly. And I think, Derrick Henry, he's not in the front running for this MVP race, but he very well should be.
Right.
Keep in mind the last MVP season for a running back, 2012, with Adrian Peterson. So that's my first point.
Yeah, Derrick Henry honestly has been looking a hell of a lot better than a lot of these other so-called MVPs right now, honestly, because he literally is the whole entire Titans offense right now. Yeah, they have Julio Jones and A.J.
And
Brown.
he's out today.
Yeah, Julio is out today. I don't know about A.J. Brown. I would assume he's playing. But Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown are going to be two of the top guys for Indianapolis to go after, which shouldn't be hard to take out A.J. Brown. You just got to double him up.
But you can't take out Derrick Henry.
You cannot take out Derrick Henry unless you have one of the best defensive fronts in the NFL.
Can I tell you, I mean, I'm not really good at comparisons, but can I just say that this kind of reminds me of Jerome Bettis? He is so hard to bring down. Derrick Henry is kind of like a Jerome Bettis. He's kind of like a Marshawn Lynch. He's kind of like LeGarrette Blount in his prime. LeGarrette Blount was hard to take down.
Right. But the only thing is, Bus was big and kind of on the
but Bus was
chunky side. Derrick Henry's all fucking muscle.
Yeah.
There's some fat, but that man is mostly muscle.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's got such strong arms to be able to stiff arm someone across the field. Sorry, Jason, but Josh Norman.
It's all right. Actually, he did it to a Packers. Actually, no, he did it to a Chiefs. Wait.
Yeah. But come on, it's
the Chiefs. He did it to the Bills again.
Yeah.
He actually had a defensive lineman that he just tossed aside like it was nothing. And I don't know if you watched much of that game, but he goes into preparation. He actually works on stiff arming in the off season when he is doing all of his crazy workouts. So that man is notoriously good at just stiff arming anything that comes in his way. That's why I say, if you're going to tackle Derrick Henry, you go for his legs. You don't go for his body. You go after his legs. That's where they're most vulnerable.
Oh, man, exactly. But, yeah, put some respect on his name for MVP. That's my
please.
thing. Can I also just say, point number 2, the AFC is way too close to call right now. Let's face it, we thought the Ravens were in it after last week. Then the Ravens get blown out by the Bengals. Bengals. Then, of course, the Bills get beat by the Titans. The Chiefs get beat brutally by the Titans. Really, the AFC is so up in the air right now. I can't even safely. Normally, about week 8, week 9, I can make a safe prediction of who would make the Super Bowl. And right now, I'm at a loss for words as far as the AFC goes. I just can't make a safe prediction because the Bills... I still think the Bills are the best team in the AFC, but the problem is the AFC is a dangerous round robin right now.
Yeah. It's always tough to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo was close to beating Tennessee.
Yeah.
They were just a fourth quarter, a fourth down play away from, all you had to do, I think, was.
But see,
I can't remember if it was 4th and goal or something, but yeah, it was like that close. Tennessee has been looking good. Their defense has been showing up as of late. And their offense is still so. I will say this now, and I'll say it again. Derrick Henry is literally that offense.
Yeah.
If you take away Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans
ain't shit. You can't take away Derrick Henry. That's the big thing. You can't take him away. He's gonna be there for the next 4 years and still be strong, I'm sure.
Tennessee would be dumb to ever get rid of Derrick Henry.
To be honest, the Bills have the edge, but here's the thing now. I think the Bills have a much slighter edge than they had 3 weeks ago. Okay, just because I'm not buying the Bengals yet. I'm not going to lie with you here. I just don't know if the Bengals are a different team now or if they're still that team that loses in the first round. So I'm still... I can't get a good feel for them yet.
I really do think that CJ Uzomah has really been looking good as well. I mean, of course, I'll talk more about, that offense there, but... I want to buy into the Bengals. I think they have a good team. I think they've beaten up some decent teams.
I'm still iffy.
They also, they haven't gone up against a team like Tennessee, a team like Buffalo. So we really don't know how good they truly are. I guess we'll find out in the playoffs. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Normally I'd say the Chiefs are a threat, but the Chiefs are a mess right now.
They're 3-4. They're on the edge of possibly missing playoffs for the first time in quite some time.
Put it this way, they'll win this week against the Giants. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that.
Yeah, on Monday Night Football, probably.
They'll win that game. But bigger picture, though, they haven't beaten any legitimate teams this year to really prove anything. Nope. And to be honest, if they're going to keep flirting with 500 the rest of the way, they're not going to go far. They're probably not even going to make the playoffs because I don't think 10-7 gets you in the playoffs this year.
Probably not. So, well, the thing is, now that you have a odd number of games, not an even number of games, no team can end up being 500. Yeah. You either be above or under 500.
See, this isn't the AFC anymore where there were 3 teams that were in the running. Now it's an AFC where any one of these 7 teams that make the playoffs legitimately have a good shot. I'm not even saying that just because, 7 teams in the playoffs. It could be any one of these guys. No, this time I mean it. There are 7 good teams that are going to make the playoffs from the AFC. And let's face it, all of them have picked off one of the better teams at some point. It's going to be that way. I mean, the Colts are starting to come to life at the right time. The Colts might steal a wild card. Oh my gosh. The Bengals, the Ravens, they're both going to be in it. frankly, I wouldn't even rule out a Pittsburgh run at this point, or a Cleveland run. I mean, let's put it this way. Cleveland's been banged up the entire time, and they still are playing great. So, anyway, that's what I'm going to leave off.
Okay, well, if I'm going to just say this now. If the NFL was to stop right now through Week 7, the AFC and NFC, well, technically the AFC is the number 1 seed is the Bengals. The number 1 seed is actually the Green Bay Packers, I think, right now, since they just beat the Cardinals, or they could be the number 2 seed, who knows. But if we were to go this right now, it would be Bengals and Packers, I think, with the bye. It would be the Browns and Raiders.
Yeah.
The Chargers and Tennessee Titans. Actually, well, Tennessee Titans
I'll see the
probably be above. I wish this was more so into Week 8.
But I'm still not buying the Raiders. That's the only thing. I'm like, I know I just said any of the 7 teams, but I'm not buying the Raiders still. I think they're going to fall apart, and now they don't have a good coach. So, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to move on to my third point here. We talked about coaches that were on the hot seat earlier this year. There's one that should have been fired last week. Brian Flores. Okay, let's put it this way. The Dolphins have a top-tier defense right now. Tua's been... Let me put it this way. Tua has beat my expectations at this point. He's playing pretty well. So, what I will say is that what's holding him back? Brian Flores is holding him back at this point. Yeah. It's time for Brian Flores to go. I think, he had a great year last year. He was 10-6, missed the playoffs. But this year, I mean, he entered this season with a 50% chance of making the playoffs, is what I read. And now it's down to a 1% chance. You have a team right now that's built to win and compete in the AFC East, and you're floundering. Okay? It's time to go at this point. Normally, I wouldn't put a coach on a hot seat like this very early in, after a good year, but you got a team that's ready to win now. You got a quarterback in his second year. You got to make you can't afford to not be aggressive at this point with the coaching staff. So
I'm pretty sure
I think it's time for Flores to go.
I think this is what?
It's his third year.
That is his third year?
Yeah.
And he had what? He had Tannehill?
Yeah.
Before?
No, I don't remember, honestly. But his first year...
Oh, no, he had Ryan...
Yeah,
not Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua last year.
Yeah, he had
I'm
Fitzpatrick.
trying to remember who he had his first year.
He had Fitzpatrick. And it was the year they tanked for Tua. Remember? That was the year they were going to tank for the number 1 pick to get Tua.
Right.
So, again, Brian Flores has to go. That's the bottom line here. They just...
The problem is if they end up tanking for another like top spot, and the problem is they do not have a first round draft pick this year. They traded it away to I think Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So they do not have a number 1 pick this year. So why are you tanking? It makes no sense.
See,
you can try to trade for Deshaun Watson, ain't going to change anything. See, it's going to probably make things worse because he hasn't played all year.
Yeah. See, it's just, honestly, again, I don't think it's as much about the tanking because I don't think they really need a first-round pick right now. They have a good foundation on offense. They've got Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa. They got a pretty decent foundation over there. They got an amazing defensive front. Xavier Howard's leading that defensive charge. So it's not as much about rebuilding. It's as much about getting the right coach to help them get there.
Right.
At this point.
They need a culture change in a major way. I will admit that.
Now,
I mean,
if now, if next year Tua doesn't really get... Now, I mean, Tua to me has jumped a little bit. He's progressed a little from year 1 to year 2. I wouldn't say he's progressed to a franchise quarterback level, but they need to get that guy now that's going to help him get to that franchise quarterback level. I mean, he jumped from like here, he jumped up about 2 steps. They need him to get up to that point where they can take a chance on giving him that 5th-year option. And
Right.
they need to get him to that point where maybe we can say, hey, in year 3 is what I'm talking about. In year 3, they need to get him to the point where, hey, we're thinking 5th-year option or we're thinking long-term contract.
See, the problem with them not having a first-round draft pick is you could have used it on offensive line, and there's some really good offensive linemen that usually can be in the first round that you can grab. Now that they don't have a first-rounder, you don't know if there's going to be a solid... I mean, don't get me wrong, there could be some solid steals that you can get in the second round, too. I mean, Buffalo, at one point, didn't have a first-rounder, and in the second round, they drafted after A.J. Epinesa out of Iowa, and look what he's been doing for Buffalo this year. Having a really great breakout year in the second year in the NFL.
Yeah.
That you don't know if Miami's going to get that kind of stellar offensive player in the second round that can come in, automatically have an impact for them type of thing. That's what I'm saying. Miami's kind of shooting themselves in the foot, and I think that they're one good offensive line away from being able to, one, protect Tua, because Tua shouldn't have to run around and try to save the team. 2, he's also widely inconsistent, too. I don't think that he's able to make the right kind of throws yet. I mean...
That's why I said it was a small progression from year 1 to year 2, because he's putting up the numbers that are slightly better. That's why I said if they get a new coach that can take him from here to here, that would be good, because that's what they need right now, is a coach that can take him from here to here.
I think if they got a coach that can work on his mechanics, I think that he might end up being a franchise quarterback. I don't want to compare quarterbacks, but look at what Josh Allen. When Josh Allen was able to work on his mechanics and get his accuracy and his timing down, he's become a more accurate quarterback.
Exactly.
So if Tua can do that, if he can, and it's tough for a left-handed thrower, it really is.
I mean,
which is weird because he's right-handed but throws the ball, and I think dribbles the ball left-handed.
But here's what's going to put the pressure on Miami right now to make that decision. Okay, Justin Herbert was here last year. I mean, he's right at where Tua was, Tua is this year, last year. And now Justin Herbert is up here. Like, I mean, to me right now, he's playing at a level where if this was his 4th year, he could get a big contract extension on it. Joe Burrow missed half of last year. Okay, Joe Burrow could very easily get a big contract extension if this was year 4. Okay, and Zach Taylor has proven now, to me, that he is the right coach for the situation.
Right.
And then of course you see, but like I said, those two honestly are the biggest ones to compare. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's right about here. I mean, he really, to me, hasn't progressed much, but look at what Philadelphia's got, okay? There's the difference there. Philadelphia does not have a stellar offense by any means.
No.
I mean, they have one big playmaker in the making in Devontae Smith, but that's about it.
See, if he had a Zach Ertz that actually cared, I don't know, I wouldn't say he's getting out of his prime, but if they had more of the Zach Ertz that actually cared,
I don't think
if they had a prime Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz,
they have
plus,
Dallas
Devontae Smith
playing pretty good.
Like, if they just had some guys that can stay healthy and some great talent around him, I think Devontae or Jalen Hurts would do a little bit better. But that's it. Probably time to continue on to my takeaways before we go on and on about it. I'm probably not going to go too deep into them, but my takeaways are going off of the Bengals there. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase might just be the new lethal tandem in the AFC. Don't also discredit CJ Uzomah as well, because he's
He's the
really
fallback.
turn it. He's really the fallback tight end, somebody that can help, take the pressure off of Jamar Chase, literally being that whole entire offense. Joe Mixon's also really good, so I think they have a great four-piece there, because usually it's the quarterback, receiver, running back. No, right now I'm seeing it's more like a four-piece. It's, Burrow, Chase, Mixon, and Uzama.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, they have some other receivers and pieces that are good,
Yeah.
but Jamar Chase reminds me a lot of that prime AJ Green with Andy Dalton. That's what it reminds me of. I just hope that it actually stands out that Jamar Chase can really do things with Joe Burrow. I mean, they were great in college. I think they're going to do even better in the NFL, so that's why I'm thinking they're the new lethal tandem in the AFC probably going forward. So going forward, I'm going to say so far it's looking like the Madden curse has finally hit Patrick Mahomes, as right now he's looking really crappy against the good teams, but really good against these bad teams. It's not looking very promising for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yes, I can say that they might beat the Giants, but the Giants also just beat up on the Panthers, who we thought were going to do really good this year. So, I don't know. It's tough to tell.
But is this the point where maybe that they're going to have to make some coordinator changes, like Spagnuolo's out? Because, let's face it, the Chiefs they've done enough to build that offense, but there's really nothing you can do when there's good defenses you're going against. That,
right.
Not to mention, watched the Super Bowl and saw how the Bucs exposed them. But I will say, I just want to chime in a little bit here. I will say, though, they're doing the wrong method here. Is that the offense is not the problem over there. The problem is the defense, and they're doing nothing to fix it. They're just saying, let's just keep going. Patrick Mahomes can fight his way out of this. And it's gotten to the point now where that's not the case anymore.
Right.
So, time to build the defense.
Yeah, I agree.
And it starts with getting rid of Brad Sorensen, because I know a lot of people don't like him over there.
Yeah, I mean, which is weird because he was with the team last season.
He did okay last year.
And this year, he's just, I guess white man really can't run.
The only thing good on that defense is Tyrann Mathieu. That's it.
And even he hasn't really shown out this year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This defense really hasn't been relevant this year at all. And it's kind of sad. And honestly, it's kind of sad that Patrick Mahomes, who is supposed to be this great quarterback, can't do well against a too high safety cover too.
Yeah.
Apparently that's his weakness, is two deep safeties, cover two defense. He can't do anything against it, which is... Teams, if you know anything, use that defense.
Yep. Use it until he starts learning it.
Right now, I'm going to go to my third pick before we go to our anchor break. The Packers right now are showing that they're the team to beat in NFC, but there's always a but. But they also, they did it against, yes, they did it against the Cardinals, but they also did it against them without three of their top receivers. Two of them are on COVID, one's still on IR. So, you have that. But can we talk about how AJ Green looked so foolish and did not even realize that the ball was coming his way whatsoever?
Yeah.
I think he thought his route was to probably move to the left. So he thought, okay, maybe he was going to throw it to the left. No, he throws it to the right, and easy, probably the easiest interception that a defensive back could get, because he's right there. Threw it more to the defensive back than AJ Green. Picked off, game over. But I will say this now, if AJ Green was to know that ball was going that way, game over. It would have been Cardinals win. It would have been 8-0. You know, And we would still be talking about how they're the team to beat in the NFC.
That rematch in the playoffs, if it happens, will be a game to watch.
And you know that game film of that game would definitely be talked about. The Cardinals are probably going to go into Week 9, and that game film is going to be on there. Yeah. And I bet you that coach is going to be like,
Cliff Kingsbury.
Reaming AJ Green, reaming Kyler Murray for that big time. Make sure they get the chemistry together. So
exactly.
But as of right now, the Packers are showing that they're the team to beat in the NFCs.
I agree, but I will say they've shown this before, and then they've lost in the NFC Championship. So I want to see them get over that hump first before I even go there.
I know. I'm really hoping that they can honestly get over that hump as well. Because there's still teams like the Rams, the Bucs, the Cardinals, the Cowboys. I won't even lie that they're looking good.
I'm not
this
buying
year.
them.
I want to say they'll get to the NFC Championship game. They'll get to the playoffs. They may win a playoff game, but that's probably about it.
Exactly. But with that, let's go to our anchor break here. And when we come back, we'll have our Week 8 predictions and Tinkle on this. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, 9:33, Week 8 predictions. Anyway, Panthers, Falcons. Falcons with the 3-point favorite.
I'm probably gonna go with Atlanta here, so the Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers are falling apart. I'm gonna go Falcons as well. Dolphins and Bills. You'll be in the stands for this one.
Yes, I will.
Bills are a 14-point favorite. I think we're both gonna agree on this one.
Yeah, even though Miami is apparently undefeated in Halloween games, I'm thinking Buffalo is gonna be focused, ready to go in their home town. So Buffalo's going to get the win here against Miami.
Yep. Bills all the way here. Anyway, 49ers, Bears. Looks like the Niners have a 4-point favorite. No Matt Nagy either.
I don't think that's going to matter too much. I'm going to go with the Bears. I think the Bears will beat San Fran.
I think it's going to matter more than you think. I'm going to say, though, the Bears will contend, but I'm going to go with the 49ers here. I think if Jimmy G is starting, he gives them the best chance to win. So, anyway, now on to the next one. This one should be a good one after the last two games between these teams. Steelers and Browns. Browns are a 4-point favorite.
It all depends on if the Browns are going to have... one Baker and also the running backs back, but
crisis can happen unexpectedly to anyone.
I'm still gonna give the edge to the Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Honestly, Browns.
Browns are at home. I'll give the edge to the Browns as well. Anyways, Eagles, Lions. The Philadelphia Eagles have a 3.5 advantage.
You know what? I'm gonna change it up. I think I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna say the Lions are gonna get their first win here against the Philadelphia Eagles.
You're stealing my idea here. I'm telling you, Jared Goff's gonna get his first win without Sean McVay. On top of it, the Lions are gonna get their first win of the season. They're too good to me. I wouldn't say they're too good, but they're good enough to not be 0-7 right now.
Oh, yeah.
Lions are going to win this one. Titans and Colts. The Colts with a 2.5 advantage.
Wow. These two teams, they play each other tough. Indianapolis always has Tennessee's number in some way. But I just think that Derrick Henry is just too good this year. Yeah. I want to go Tennessee over Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm going to give Tennessee a slight edge. I'm going to tell you, though, the Colts, like you said, they're going to make it interesting. Anyway, Bengals and Jets. Last year, this game would have been fantastic because both teams sucked. The Cincinnati Bengals an 11-point favorite. Do we even have to make a pick here?
No, Bengals.
Bengals. This one we might not have to make a pick for either. Rams and Texans. Rams 16-point favorite.
Rams.
Rams all day, but I will say if Tyrod plays, it becomes an interesting game. And it is rumored
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
First off, he's been hurt the last few games, and he's also going up against a really good Rams defense. I don't think so.
Yeah. Chargers and Patriots, the first 4 o'clock game. Chargers a 4.5 favorite.
This one's going to be a tough one to probably say who could win, but I'm going to give the advantage to the Chargers, especially at home.
Yeah. I'm going to give the edge to the Patriots. I'm sorry. And they always seem to have the Chargers number, and I don't think this one's going to be any different. If there's one thing Hunter Henry's going to do, he is going to probably give away as much as he can on the Chargers offense this week to try to stop Herbert. So I'm going to give the Patriots the edge, and I think it's going to be a big win for them. Anyway, Jaguars, Seahawks. The Seahawks, I believe, have a 3.5 advantage. They still don't have Russell Wilson.
Even after that bye week for Jacksonville, I just don't think they'll still get it together. But then again, who knows? I want to give the edge to Seattle.
Yeah.
Here.
They're at home. They haven't won a game yet at home. This is where it ends. So Seahawks are going to win, I think. Washington and the Broncos. Denver 3-point favorite.
Yeah, Washington just doesn't have it going at all this year. And I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to come back to some form. I think Denver is going to get the win over Washington.
Yeah. I'm going to retract my statement on Taylor Heineke being their best situation to win. I think that ship has sailed. I think they're just waiting for Fitzpatrick to be back from injury at this point. Broncos are going to win. It'll be close, though. Both teams are really struggling. Bucs and Saints, the game of the week. No Joe Buck in the booth this week. He is in Atlanta covering the World Series. So Bucs are a 4.5 favorite. If you don't like Joe Buck, this is a game to watch.
Definitely Tampa Bay over New Orleans.
Tampa Bay, they're the better team all around. So I'll go with that. Sunday Night Football, Cowboys, Vikings. Should I note that Minnesota's a 3-point favorite? But keep in mind, again, we don't know the status of Dak Prescott entering Sunday. So that could play huge in the decision.
I'm probably going to go with Minnesota. Done.
I think if Dak plays, the Cowboys win, but I'm going to go... Actually, I'm still going to go with Dallas by 3, is what I'm going to say. Greg the Leg will find a way to win it, if that's the case. Chiefs and Giants. Chiefs are a 9.5 favorite here. And it's sad when Daniel Jones is listed as the leading rusher between both teams. It's seriously what it says. I can't make this up.
That's sad. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Only because 1, they're at home.
Yep.
And 2, because I just can't get faith in the Giants. Yeah, they beat the Panthers, but the Panthers are just struggling right now. So I want to give it to the Chiefs as much as I would love to see the Giants beat them and make them under 5. make them 3-5 to really have to figure out what the hell they're gonna do for the rest of the year.
Exactly. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs as well. Anyway, now before we forget Thursday night football, and I said Thursday night football games were good, I now retract my statement from earlier in this show because it's the Jets and the Colts, and the Colts are a 14-point favorite.
Oh, I'm going to go with the Colts over the Jets.
Colts all day. So, sorry to talk over you there, but Colts all day.
Yeah, it's going to suck to lose to Tennessee and then on a short week have to play up against the Jets, but the Jets just don't have it going right now, honestly, so...
Exactly. One thing that'll bear watching is what's going to happen to Marlon Mack before that game, because he's been rumored on the trade block for a few weeks now. So, we'll see what happens. I doubt it has any impact on this game, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. So, Tinkle on this. It's actually a story that trended all week so far. Tom Brady threw his 600th touchdown pass this week. Should we note that Mike Evans did not pay attention to what was coming as far as records? And you'd think him being your buddy, you'd know, but he didn't. So he throws the ball up in the stands for a fan, to which I think it was a Tampa Bay representative. It might have been a Hall of Fame representative as well. They both had to go up and say, hey, that football needs to come with us. We're going to offer you... Let me actually pull it up on my phone. So he gave away... So because of Mike Evans' mistake, it costed the team 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Brady, a signed Mike Evans jersey and game cleats, $1,000 to the team store, 2 season tickets for the next 2 years, and a Bitcoin, which I believe was from Tom Brady himself. So, for that, Mike Evans, pay attention. He's your friend.
You done messed up, son.
Yeah, you done messed up, son. Tinkle on
this. And for that, you're on Tinkle on this for this week.
Yep. So, we actually have a lot of time left, so I guess we'll open up the floor here to this discussion. We've been discussing it all week, moral-wise, and I think this is actually a good one to discuss. So let's say you were the person in the stands that got the 600 touchdown ball. Mm-hmm. Would you trade it in for 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Tom Brady, a signed Mike Evans jersey and game cleats, $1,000 to the team store, 2 season tickets the next 2 years, and the Bitcoin that's worth at last check about $63,000, but you can't cash in?
Yeah, I want to say that's a better offer because you don't know how much you're just going to get for that ball. Don't get me wrong, it could be very valuable. It probably already is.
Rumored to be about $750K, by the way. Rumored.
$750,000
is what the game ball is worth. Reportedly.
I want to say the amount of stuff that he got is going to be a lot more money in the long run.
For Tom Brady and Mike Evans, yeah.
Than what the football is right now. Don't get me wrong, the football, if he kept it, and it's like casually, Tom Brady would be a Hall of Famer, retire, have all these records, it would the value and price would have gone up and up and up to even being like well over a couple $1 million. Don't get me wrong. But you have to look at it and be like, well, now I get season tickets that, I don't have to worry about paying for.
Yeah.
You get 2 signed jerseys and a helmet, which is awesome. Then you get another signed jersey and game-worn cleats. Like, that already is going to bring up the value itself.
Yeah.
Plus the Bitcoin, if you ever were to, sell that, even if it was to go up in price, that already is going to earn you a shit ton of money.
So,
and then also you get to go on a nice spending spree on the team store. Shoot.
Yeah, you get to buy a couple
Shoot.
jerseys, a couple real jerseys out of that.
Real jerseys, real stitched jerseys.
Yeah, not the $30 Chinese jerseys that you can buy.
Yeah, these are like the nice, like 100, like 200, even $300, $400, $500 jerseys. So he can literally like renovate his whole, or not renovate his whole, like basically turn his whole house into like Tampa Bay stuff. So I think it's worth it.
You know,
in return,
that football was gonna be special. Let's put.
But you had to give that ball back to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. As much as as you would, you as a fan would love to have that football.
See,
put it in a case to be like, look, I have Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass football in my possession. Tom Brady would want that more because
that's special.
It's more valuable. It's more special to him than it is to the fan.
And it's not the price tag on it. It's the memory of it that's more valuable.
Exactly.
But what I will say is, I may say that I would never give it back, but to be honest, I mean, if I knew in the stands what it was worth, I probably wouldn't have, to be honest. Like, just because, at least not for that price, I wouldn't have. To be honest, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not a cryptocurrency fan. If anyone out there is listening and you know anything about crypto, please inform me on it, because I really don't know much about it to really make a judgment call. But to me, it just doesn't seem to add up. $61,393.90 is what it's worth as of today, October 30th. So I don't know. Again, I'm not a huge fan of crypto, so I probably would have asked for it in cash, like $62K or something. But,
or check for 62.
Yeah, or a check.
Signed by Tom Brady himself.
And then the other question I have is, where are these season tickets? Are they in like nosebleeds, or are they like 50-yard line prime seating like we had at the Syracuse game? Not necessarily that high up, but I mean like, primo, like right in the middle of the field. Or even,
that's a good question. I would assume it would have to be really good, because I think what they probably did is they gave him what would be about the same value and all of that as it would be for the football itself.
Yeah.
I think that's what they probably did.
And then this is the big or in it, is it worth the same, is it the same seats that he had at that game? That's another thing that you got to factor in.
It probably could have been.
But what I will say is you got 2 free years of games, which is great. Again, the memorabilia, that's priceless. But here's the thing, though. Again, going back to it, if this football, say, is worth $750,000, granted, I don't think it is right now. I would estimate, I don't know anything about value, but I can tell you when he retires, it's going to go up in value. Right. God forbid he passes away after he retires. Then that value is going to skyrocket. Okay?
No.
No question there. It's going to skyrocket if he passes away. God forbid it happens. But then, of course, you factor in the Hall of Fame. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame just as quick as Peyton Manning was in the Hall of Fame. There may not even be a discussion when it comes time. Say he retires after this year. He'll be eligible in 2027. There's no question that there won't even be a debate. They're just going to say he's in. Plain and simple. They're going to be like, fuck it, you're in. Okay?
Right.
There's no debate there. So I don't know. See, I would probably give it back, but here's the thing. He did go on the NFL Network this week, by the way, this fan, and he actually got asked, what he thought, he wanted in return and whatnot. He said, to be honest, I would have just taken a round of golf with Brady. Okay? I would have said, okay. I hope, personally, Tom Brady, I doubt you're watching this, but Tom Brady, give this man a round of golf. Do it with Gronk. Do it with Mike Evans. the four of you can go out on the course and have a grand old time. There's so many good courses out in Tampa Bay, I'm sure, and in Florida in general.
Right.
Take this man out for a round of golf. Come on. Even take him out for lunch. Just don't give him that vegan shit that you've been eating, okay? Give him a fucking steak, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. But to be honest, that kind of memory though is priceless compared to everything else that he's getting out of this.
Right.
That memory is gonna be priceless. Give it to him. It's the least you could do. For the fact that he did the right thing by giving the football back for as little as he kind of made on it.
Right.
Is
there a way we can?
Yeah. No, you're fine. But that's what I was gonna end it with. Give it to him. I mean, because look, the stuff you're giving him monetary wise is priceless compared to the memory that he could have that's go into the world and say, I just went for a round of golf with Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Mike Evans, and I got the picture to prove it. So, all right.
So that might be even more valuable than the football. So.
Yeah. To me, that would be more valuable. I don't like, when I go to the races, I ask for pictures with drivers because to me, that's more valuable than the autographs are. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you back here next Sunday. Till then, goodbye, everyone.